Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Guys, this is the first Thursday of the JoBlo Movie Show, the first Thursday of the new show. So for those of you that are coming back from our usual Friday schedule, hello and welcome back. I'm glad you're all here.
Hello there.
And you get one of those. And for anybody new that we happen to be catching, that's really exciting. So I hope you'll stick around. We got one hell of a show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking Mission Impossible, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title. We got some regular movie news, some breaking stuff that we're going to catch up on. There's some stuff that's like breaking right now that I kind of want to make time for. We're going to be doing a giveaway, of course. Take a look at some new movie trailers. And, of course, we have a very special guest, which for those of you that have been hanging out around the website, you have known this is coming. But for those of you that are just finding out now, let me be the first to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our editor-in-chief at JoBlo.com, Mr. Chris Bumbray. Let's get him on here.
Hello, hi, hey, everybody. Cheers.
In the flesh. In the flesh. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
What's up with you, man? Nice to see you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was wondering when you would ask me to be on.
It's been a long time coming. I admit, maybe too long, but I'm glad you're here now.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and to talk about Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. Oh my God!
You see, you were the only guy.
Tom Cruise. I mean, as you can see from that little video you guys played before the show, I did interview the man in New Orleans for his only flop for Jack Reacher. Never. So I don't know. Maybe I was bad luck for him, but I had a heck of a time interviewing him.
Yeah, look.
How many shots I had before doing that interview too, though. I was so nervous.
Oh, well, I can imagine you needed at least one or two. You're meeting Tom Cruise, You know? He's not just any Tom. He's Tom Cruise.
No, I geeked out really hard in that interview. I asked him for the photo at the end. I don't really do that, but I had to with Tom Cruise. What can I say?
Yeah, dude, what are you supposed to do? I mean, like, I have a short list of people that I would stop in the street for a photo op. Tom Cruise is on that list for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we've got some fans already. We've got Hip Hop Legend is a regular viewer. Says, hey, Chris. He's happy to see you.
Legend. Hey, man.
Be Positive 99 is back. Hello, what's up? Happy Hump Day. It's not quite Hump Day, but
yesterday was Hump Day. Well, we're well over the hump now. Yesterday was Hump.
Let me tell you, it kind of feels like Friday. I think knowing that the show was coming up, I sort of snapped into Friday mode. So I have the feeling.
Yeah,
like,
we got to work tomorrow, though, dude.
I know, dude. I after this, I'm like planning my weekend. I feel like it was such a short week, but it's because I'm just getting used to it. Let's see. We've got Juan M says hello, Chris. Yeah, kicking it off early. I'm doing. Everybody knows that's a fan of this show. We're doing the probiotic Kavita. Kavita, if you want to sponsor a couple of these episodes, okay, I'm keeping your tart cherry flavor alive. Okay, I'm buying enough of those to keep the brand alive. Let's get back to us. That is a good picture of you and Tom Cruise. Do you just call him Tom?
Tommy C.
Yeah, obviously, right? You call him Tommy C. Yeah.
My goal is he apparently sends out a fruit cake to like his friends every year and to certain people in the media. My goal is to one day get on that list and to get a Tom Cruise fruit cake.
You know, if you get a Tom Cruise fruitcake, I almost feel like you shouldn't eat the fruitcake. You should preserve it. No.
I would just stay in the fridge forever, and it would just grow things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hey. I would find like a glass case.
I'm admiring your chain, by the way. It's a nice chain.
Thank you. I did this for you. I've double chained it for you today. I've got my usual one, but then I broke out this fat boy for you.
He's gonna OG on the gold chains.
I had to, actually that reminds me of something. I got a little something for you. You might recognize this.
I love gold.
That one was for you, my man. Actually, if you need a visual for that, let me just show you. I've been thinking about this all day.
I love gold.
Is it crazy? Is it crazy that there is a part of me that sort of wants my office to be gold, like all gold everything like that? Could you imagine, dude? People would watch the show if nothing else, just to be like, what the hell is this guy doing?
What is he on? What are they taking over at JoBlo?
Yeah, well, one day it'll happen, guys. We'll get rid of the purple, the blue, the whatever, and we'll put some pink in here. Just a guy wants to know if we're drinking tonight. I don't know.
I am. I'm having a White Claw, a little hair of the dog for me.
Chris said he was so nervous. He told me this off stream. He told me he was so nervous that if he didn't have a couple of White Claws, he might shit his pants. Chris, did you say that?
It's a pretty small apartment, so I'm close to the bathroom. So if you come
good.
back from like playing a clip and I'm not here, that's exactly where I am.
Hopefully we can still hear. That would be great. That would be great content for us.
Oh!
Now, Chris, before we get into any of our main topics, I want to talk to you a little bit, because you and I have a little bit of history. But before we do even that, I have 3 questions. These are rumors that I've heard, and I just want to know if they're true. Okay. So just real quick, these are things I heard about your meeting with Tom Cruise. You just tell me if they're true. Number 1, is it true that in this photo, Tom Cruise is touching your butt?
I wasn't supposed to tell anybody. It was, I had to sign an NDA. No, I wish he was.
The truth comes out. Okay, so it is not true. It is fictional.
Be proud if he had been. I wouldn't have even been upset. I would have been proud. I would have told everyone. It would have been a thing. I would have been very proud.
I would have embarrassed if Tom Cruise touched my butt, I would have tried to kiss him in front of everybody. And who knows how that would have gone.
Taller than him, though. You can see that in the photo. I'm taller than him, but he's dating Ana de Armas, so.
Okay, well that actually leads me to my second. Is it true that him and Nicole Kidman broke up because you are now married to Nicole Kidman?
That's true. It's
okay,
true.
So that is true. I knew that one. I heard that one was true, and I kind of believed it. I just wasn't 100% sure. And then the final one, is it true that we'll bring her on? We'll bring her on the next stream.
His cream is back. I love you, Chris. That she just says it all the time.
Yeah, I could kind of hear it. You folks at home probably didn't hear it, but she was there. Trust me. And then final question: is it true that Tom Cruise, after you met him, paid off your debt to the IRS of nearly $400,000?
That's very true.
Okay.
That's true.
Charitable.
But what I had to do for the $400,000 is you have to. Did you ever see the movie Indecent Proposal?
Oh my goodness! He wanted to reenact some scenes from Eyes Wide Shut in order to get
the thing with that though is I literally would have done it for like $2. That's the thing. It would have been nothing. Yeah, they would have been. All you got to do is ask, Tom.
Not free, but $2.
$2. I mean, I'm a professional.
I got to get paid something.
Something. My time.
All right. So now that we've squashed some of those rumors, I don't want to talk about any of the other amazing things I heard about you meeting Tom Cruise, but those were the big ones. But yeah, let's talk about you because Chris, you're sort of my mentor in the JoBlo sphere in terms of you're the guy who took a chance on me and hired me all those years ago.
Well, I was one of them. I mean, because the thing about Kira, which is interesting, is that he just kind of like blind sent us an email, like randomly, and with like a couple of his videos, and then those don't often get seen, right? And I have to say that the guy who is the publisher of the site, Burge, the CEO of JoBlo Media, he did happen to watch it, and he does kind of pick up on those, and he was like, hey, there's really kind of something to it, and then when Kira got brought on board, he just, we kind of hit it off. We kind of hit it off right away and got a nice thing going. He's a good guy. But it's weird that we've never met in the flesh, which is strange.
It is weird because I actually feel like we have met. I was talking to Lisa about this, my wife, and before we went on, I just went on a trip with some of the guys to Las Vegas, and before that, I remember thinking, like, Chris is one of the people from work that I've met before. So like I remember thinking like, oh, I've met Chris and then I was like, wait a minute, I have not met Chris.
Never.
Why is that? Do you not like me?
No, I love you, man. But the thing is, like, it's so strange. Like Lance Velchek and I, we'd been emailing and talking for years and years and years before we finally met, in Vegas covering CinemaCon. Same thing with Mike Conway, same thing. Jimmy O. I mean, I've worked with Jimmy O since 2007, and I've only met him twice, and it was only pretty recently. So it's just like that, Paul Shirey, the ex-editor-in-chief, him and I are really good friends, and I stay with him in Salt Lake City when I go down to Salt Lake City, but I didn't meet him the whole time we worked together. I met him after we stopped working together. So it's very strange.
It is. Yeah. It's funny because I feel like we're all friends because we all talk so much day in and day out. I mean, I talk to you every day. So it is funny because we're, there's like this this very close-knit dynamic. It's so much so that I do sometimes forget who I have and have not like shaken hands with in the flesh, you know. Conway was another one. When I have, you know, I've hung out with Conway. When I hung out, I felt like I had already known him for years. Like I felt like I was seeing him again, you know, which was so strange.
Yeah, it is strange.
So you and Burge took a chance on me. You hired me, even though I just kind of
you nailed it, man. And you nailed it, and you nailed it.
I got
but that
somewhere.
is a good. That is, I mean, that is a thing for people, though. You know, if they ever don't think they should cold call people, they should. I got my job the same way. I cold called Burge, and he didn't answer me for like a year, and then he wrote me back, and he was like, "Yeah, I was looking through my inbox, and I noticed this. Hey, do you want to cover this screening for me?" It was The Martian Child with John Cusack.
Very nice. Wow.
Hey, it led to a career. So there you go.
Yeah, it is funny how these things happen. When I did it, I didn't expect to hear anything. I was just like, you know, this is one of my favorite channels. It's been my source. So yeah, and here we are. Now it's interesting because you know, now like things like this is you know, we're doing the JoBlo movie show, the JoBlo live stream, and I get to be part of that, which is pretty fun. And I'm glad that you're here.
Yep.
So you and I have known each other for a while. We've done videos together. We've done everything but this until now.
Videos together, right? We're gonna go into those.
Yeah. So now we're gonna look at our history of all the videos we've done together. No, but
all of them.
even the ones that we swore we wouldn't tell anybody about, Chris. Yes, even those.
Yeah.
Okay, I like to keep my audience happy here. Okay, I'm looking at your guys' comments here, and I'm gonna pin some of these because I think Chris would appreciate them, and then I promise we'll get into our main topic. But this is fun. We're having a good time here. So Just a Guy, this is a regular viewer here, has been on the show before. Just a Guy says, "I love Chris's videos and voice. So many favorite videos linked to that."
Oh, thank you,
Chris. Did you know that there were people out there besides?
I hope the yeah, besides my parents, I hope the visual side isn't too much of a disappointment. But yeah, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say.
Chris, allow me, if nobody has told you this, allow me to be the first one. But you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So are you, my friend. So are you.
I just like to we gotta throw that out there to keep the people focused on Mission Impossible while we talk about everything else. Now another thing, it seems to me that some of these people really enjoyed the sequel to Jack Reacher, excuse me. Now I want to ask you, because you were there at the premiere and you saw it and you met Tom Cruise, if none of those things happened, how did you feel about the movie?
I didn't love it, to be honest. I remember being disappointed when I watched it. I liked the first one, you know, but the second one, I just felt like it was kind of. I was expecting a lot though, because I really loved The Last Samurai, the movie that he did with Edward Zwick before, you know. So I was expecting it to be like great, and I know I found like kind of a bit of a B movie to me. But you know, I also can't divorce it from the fact that, you know, I was in New Orleans, I was at the premiere. I wasn't even supposed to go. I found out a day before Paul Shirey was supposed to go, and he got sick. Thank God. He was really sick, and he's like, can you go to interview Tom Cruise on the red carpet? And literally before he even finished the conversation, I had my passport and I was in like a cab to the airport, and I was like, I'm there 100%. I was just terrified that he was going to rally and then suddenly decide to go back. So I was praying he'd stay sick the whole time.
Don't get me wrong, I'm also happy that that's what happened for your sake, but I just want to say a direct quote that I pulled from that was, "Thank God he got incredibly sick." What? I
was quoted on all the trailers for that too, just saying Tom Cruise is the best. It wasn't even part of the movie. This is part of the Tom Cruise is the best.
Tom Cruise is the best. Some drunk guy that was at the premiere.
Chris Bumbray, JoBlo. Tom Cruise is the best.
That's so. They're like heart-stopping action, and then just to quote, "Tom Cruise rules."
Yeah,
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
It was like was that once I was quoted on the DVD cover of Gamer, and it was like off the wall jacked up action, but the actual rest of the sentence was, it's pretty stupid, just a lot of off the wall jacked up action. Like they took it as a good thing, and it looked good on the poster. Sometimes they translate them in French too, and it's very strange. Like I was quoted on the trailer on the DVD cover for Dread. And if you look at the French one that's out, it says "C'est de la bombe." Chris Bumbray, JoBlo, and I was like, I think I ever said like it's awesome. Like I think that's the translation was it's the bomb, which I never wrote, and it was "C'est de la bombe."
So you've been misquoted in French.
In French many times.
Beautiful. You know, it's not a direct translation. I have a question, Chris. Amanda Fritz wants to know, Chris, have you ever been invited to drinks with Paul Feig in New York?
Yes, I was recently. I couldn't go. We almost sent Jay, actually, who's the admin of the channel, because when they were promoting another simple favor, the new one, that was how they were doing the junket. They were like, come have martinis with Paul Feig. And I was like, I'd love to go have martinis with Paul Feig. Yeah. But then unfortunately it just didn't work out. I was gonna send Jay, who I don't even think really drinks, and I was gonna send him, but Feig is interesting because he's always immaculately dressed. Like, I don't know if you know this, like you can see it in my interview that just went up with him today. Like, he's always
three-piece. Yeah.
He was wearing, I even talked about it in the interview. I'm like, what is that watch you're wearing? And he's like, oh, it's a Rolex Submariner. And I'm like, oh, it's not bad. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And actually that person, Amanda Fritz, a friend of mine, and she looked it up and she's a $10,000 watch.
My goodness, a $10,000 watch. I don't think I own any single item that's worth $10,000.
No, I mean, I'm wearing my Apple watch that's like, it was worth a few hundred, so that's pretty good, but that's about as far as I'd go for a watch.
I'm wearing a gold bracelet that cost about $100 5 years ago. Yeah.
Gold.
It's probably just gold plated. Who even knows, man? You know. All right, let's talk Mission Impossible, Chris. I want to keep this loose, and the reason for that is because there are so many goddamn movies in this franchise that to sit and try to talk through each of them one by one, we'd be here all night, possibly all weekend. Not saying I wouldn't do it, but you know, I'm just saying, out of respect for everyone else, we'll try to keep it pretty tight and focused. Chris, let's start with a broad one. Mission Impossible. I know you're a big fan. I know that this is a franchise that you enjoy. What's your favorite installment of the Mission Impossible series?
You know, it's weird. It's not like what I would say the best one is. Like, I would say probably the best crafted one is probably maybe Fallout, I think, you know, in terms of action. But I think, the one that I find the most memorable and the one that I return to the most is actually Mission Impossible 3 for a couple of reasons. For one of the reasons, and probably similar for you, is that Philip Seymour Hoffman is an amazing villain in that movie, and he's the best villain and the only really good villain the series ever had. And yes. I feel like it's a bit of a disappointment that they've never had anybody that lived up to that, to how good he was in that movie. It's also the one that relies the least on the thing that I always didn't like about this series, which is the face swapping gimmick. I always find that lazy, and it's one of the ones that really, they do have a whole segment where he's Philip Seymour Hoffman, and that, you know, that always annoys me, but
I love that scene though.
there's a lot of good stuff in that movie though. I like Michelle Monaghan was great in it. I liked the relationship. I always liked Tom Cruise as a romantic lead because I love Jerry Maguire. Yeah, so, and I find that he pulls it off really well. And then also the thing is, I worked for that studio that summer it came out. I was working for Paramount Pictures. I was a campus marketing rep in Montreal. And my job was I would have to take prints, 35 millimeter prints of their movies around to different theaters and show them and gauge audience reaction. And the thing about that movie was it was huge budget, and they really had a lot of bad publicity for it that summer because Tom Cruise had gone nuts the summer before. He had done the couch jumping incident.
I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, everything had gone south the summer before. And part of my job was I had to fax in newspaper articles of coverage for the movies, and I had to send in so many on Tom Cruise. So they really got aggressive with the screening campaign for that movie to show people that it was actually a good movie. So I saw it a number of times that summer, and I loved it. It didn't do very well actually at the box office. It was kind of a disappointment, but you know, I'm glad they continued with the series. It was definitely a great start for J.J. Abrams. In fact, I think it's really the only J.J. Abrams movie that I can say that I really unabashedly love.
Also, same.
Yeah. Yeah, because I find him not a hack, but I just find that he's, you know, there's just nothing
generic,
you know,
like sterile, you know, kind of
very, very, very.
Yeah, and even the things that are signature Abrams, like the lens flare and stuff, you know, Michael Bay kind of, you know, owns that too. So yeah, J.J. Abrams, I agree. But I will say,
They weren't a cliche when he did them in the third movie. It was cool in the third movie, but then they became a cliche afterwards.
Yeah.
But the action in that movie too, like the bridge shootout is incredible in that.
Or
film.
when Tom Cruise has to literally run across the entire city, and you get one of the greatest running sequences in Tom Cruise history, you know?
And then I remember Kerry Russell. That was like probably the role that got her the Americans, you know, where she has that really cool little cameo. She was great. And like the lip reading stuff was really cool. Billy Crudup. Yeah, the whole movie's great.
Yeah, I agree. That one's actually my favorite of the series. I really like most of them. In fact, there's none that I don't like. I even like.
Me too. I like all of them. Yeah, I do. Even two, I really.
Me too. Yeah, Mission Impossible Woo, I call it. Yeah, I like that one, and I also think that maybe I'm crazy, but maybe a contender for second best Mission Impossible villain. You know?
Oh, Doug Ray Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for him though, because the thing about that, I don't know if you know the story, but
he was supposed to play Wolverine.
Wolverine in the movie ran over schedule, and he had to quit Wolverine. And then, could you imagine watching that? And then, like, Hugh Jackman becomes this massive star, and you're in Mission Impossible 2, which is a blockbuster, but nobody actually likes it. You know, like after. Oh man, what a drag! What a drag that must have been for him.
I bet when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I bet Doug Ray Scott saw that movie and was like, I could still be fucking doing it. You know, like
or they could have brought him in as like an alternate Wolverine. That would have been kind of fun. I'm
kind of surprised they didn't.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So the third one's my favorite as well. It's also probably the only J.J. Abrams movie that I really love. Maybe, I mean, like Super 8, maybe close, but you know, that's one of those movies that it's difficult for me to revisit. Kind of just hard to watch again. You know, it's kind of one of those things that I liked it the first time, and I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I'm like that with so many movies these days, though. Like it's funny. I mean, I rewatch a lot of movies, but nothing from like the last 20 years. I don't rewatch stuff as much. Like that were in a way, it was the stuff that I covered since my professional career started as a critic. That's the stuff I tend to revisit the least. You know, it was different during the pandemic, because during the pandemic I did revisit some of my favorites from like my tenure.
Yeah.
You know, I did, you know, Argo and The Town and a couple of other movies like that. And a lot of Apatow comedies that I really like. But I tend to revisit older stuff now, like stuff from before, you know, from the 80s and the 90s that I grew up with. Because I don't know, I just find sometimes those movies are more rewatchable, but it's also probably the fact that I'm older and, you know, and I'm looking at it through nostalgia. Somebody on your chat, by the way, just asked what my thoughts are on Born on the 4th of July. I have to point you to a video that I did on it, because I did a lot of the Tom Cruise movies, especially the early Cruise movies. And I think that's one of his best performances ever. I think Born on the 4th of July is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I remember when you did that video.
Yeah.
I think I was probably already admin by that point, because I think I maybe got the thumbnail and stuff made. But yeah, dude, great video. Also, good movie, good video.
Good. But I love all the old Tom Cruise movies too. Like when I was a kid, my parents were very permissive. They let me watch kind of whatever I wanted, you know, and they'd be so upset for watching this. But they Cocktail. I loved Cocktail. You know, just the mixing
quite
the
a
drinks.
Sexy movie.
The funniest thing about that, though, is my parents always get upset when I talk about how when I was young, they let me watch whatever I wanted, because it's true. Other day, I'm interviewing Eli Craig for Clown in the Cornfield, and he's talking about how his mom let him watch like everything when he was a kid. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. His mother's Sally Field.
Oh, whoa! I didn't know that Sally Field was his mom.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, okay, so my mom, and I told my mom that, and she was like, oh, you know, maybe we did a good thing after all then.
I mean, dude, Sally Field is an iconic cinema mother, you know?
Yeah, exactly. She knows what she's doing.
It'd be like if Tom Hanks says he's proud of something, and your dad has also told you he's proud of that same thing, then you probably got a cool dad, you know? But we're not talking about Tom Hanks on this stream. We're only talking about one Tom, the other Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually, let's get some kind of B-roll going. This is just footage from the new movie, so we can keep talking. But
I'm very excited to see it. I think a lot of people are seeing it next week. Unfortunately, they haven't set the screening yet in Montreal. I think some people are seeing it to coincide with the Cannes premiere. I'm very excited to see it.
This isn't going to be one that you travel just to go see?
No, we didn't get invited anywhere. So hopefully, unfortunately, if it was playing somewhere closer, if it was like, I wish it had gone to like South by or
Days of the year,
Well, and the funny thing about that too is when I was at cinema, I'm in Montreal. Yeah, I am. I'm in Montreal. I'm in my apartment in Montreal, my glamorous apartment. Somebody asked what the James Bond posters behind me were. So I've got two. I've got Octopussy right there, and then I've got A View to a Kill right there. And then the rest of my apartment has a bunch of other James Bond posters up. I've got a Japanese frame poster of Spy Who Loved Me in the other room. I'm a big Roger Moore guy. So, and we're going to hopefully launch a James Bond channel on the network relatively soon, which you'll see me on. And I'm a big, big, big James Bond fan, and particularly Roger Moore, though, because I grew up watching Roger Moore. And, I love Connery and Dalton. And Dalton was so strange watching him in 1923 recently, and all the sadism stuff in it. It was so weird watching.
That's Bond?
Child Hero. Yeah. And I was like, that's James Bond. What are you doing to James Bond?
Defiling.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's 79 years old. And it's like, anyway, but I love James Bond. Yes. I've only ever interviewed two of them though. I interviewed Daniel Craig for No Time to Die, and I interviewed Pierce Brosnan for a movie he did, Fast Charlie, but I never talked to any of the OGs. And
too late.
Two of them are dead.
Yeah.
Two of them are dead.
Hopefully, Pierce Brosnan is still very much out there, so you'll get your interview. You'll get your.
And I think our guy, one of our guys on the site, John Fallon, I think is friendly with George Lazenby, so maybe I'll get George Lazenby. That'd be cool. Lazenby.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. Speaking of John Fallon, friend of the show, producer of the show, he likes Super 8 and Star Trek, and I agree. Actually, I do think Star Trek was all right as a non-Star Trek guy. It was an okay movie. I like Chris Pine. Maybe I'm crazy.
I like the Star Trek. So I did like the Star Trek movies as well. But the issue that I have is that I find they're not very rewatchable. Like
that's
I tried
most
watching
of his movies.
Yeah, that really is true though. Like even like you try to watch The Force Awakens again, and like it just doesn't really. It's one of those things that's fun to watch because it's all fan service, but then it falls apart when you look for something deeper in it, right? And I do find that Star Trek movies are like that. I think the third one is probably the best one, actually, the one he didn't direct.
I feel that same way with I get diminishing returns every rewatch of Deadpool and Wolverine, where every time I watch it. I've seen it 3 times now. Once in the theater, loved it, thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Second time I watched it at home and was like, "Oh, I don't know about this one." And then the last time I watched it, I was just kind of like, "I really only want to see Blade."
Yeah, I know. I can't believe he wasn't announced for Avengers Doomsday either. Like it's just.
I was waiting for his chair. I kind of was like, I could see it. Wesley Snipes is gonna be there, and then they're gonna throw. I thought for sure. I was like, they're gonna put a Tom Cruise chair and tease some Iron Man Elseworld stuff. I was like, I know for sure they're gonna do it, but no. What if they do though, man? That would be sick. I would love to see Tom Cruise just pop in just for a second,
Just for Tom Cruise with his hair blowing.
Or maybe they can get because I believe who made Tropic Thunder? Is that a Fox movie? They might be able to get him as Les Grossman or whatever his name is.
Paramount was Paramount. But I'm sure they could, I think he's got, he's Tom Cruise. He can do whatever he wants.
They love Tom Cruise over at Paramount. I feel like Tom Cruise is one of those actors that might one day own all of his iconic characters,
I think he probably has a piece of them all. I don't think you can make his movies. I don't think you would like I don't think
if he's not I think he must have some kind of stake in the game with the Ethan Hunt character, especially because
he does. Well, he produces them all. He's he's produced all of them. Yeah.
I wonder if because the thing is, and we've had some people in the chat ask, do we think this next Mission Impossible film will really be the last one? I of course don't think it is going to be the last one.
I think it might be the last for a while because I think he's going to go and do a lot of different things, and I think he's he is getting older, and I think he's going to try and branch out a little bit, which
like a true conclusion to the franchise. And honestly, I mean, like with where the last one was heading, it seems like it's going that way. So I'm hoping that we get something very satisfying out of this new one.
Have you seen the fan poster in Montreal and Pointe Claire? And I remember being so excited to see it. And I was actually kind of disappointed because I was like 13 years old and I just didn't really know like what I thought it was gonna be like a James Bond movie, and it wasn't like a James Bond movie.
No, it's
But
very
now
different.
I feel like but my appreciation for it has really kind of grown over the years. Like I really like the first Mission Impossible movie now, and but then I also remember the charge that I got out of seeing Mission Impossible 2 because it was Tom Cruise's first like real action role where he's fighting and shooting guns. Like he had never done that before Mission Impossible, and I thought that was amazing too. Like I had my hair like his for a whole summer once in that movie. When I had hair, I had long hair, and I had it like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2. I remember, and I had that whole summer.
I remember after Mission Impossible 2, my dad, my mom's husband, my stepdad, did the Tom Cruise for I don't know, probably like a year. He tried to do it was the kind of hot guy, long hair.
He looks so good.
Here's the poster I think you were talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is cool. I do like see that, and that's kind of my thing with this next movie is like I want it to feel more like the first one than any of them, because if it's gonna bookend it, I just want it to kind of have like a really kind of like gritty espionage feel to it. That's what I'm really
my thing I didn't like about the last one is that they're really getting into this mythology of the IMF where it's like you have to make we all get presented with the choice, and it was just like they were laying it on really thick, I found, and it was just like, okay, like we don't necessarily need that, but then again, also though, the stunt work in the last one was completely insane with the train and the motorcycle jump. And we saw B-roll of that. I think it's come out, and it's like the thing about Cruise is the guy has supernatural confidence. He has
bravery. Yeah,
not even bravery. It's complete confidence in himself. Like he knows he's going to be fine, right? And it's just having that kind of weaponized confidence is unbelievable to me, because he has no fear when he does stunts.
Exactly. Yeah.
He said he's scared, but he's not. I don't believe it.
I think, the thing with Tom Cruise is he's obviously not fucking scared because he rode a motorcycle off of a cliff when he didn't have to. He was like, oh, I'm doing that. Not only do I do my own stunts, I do stunts nobody's ever seen anybody my age pull off. So clearly he doesn't have fear. I'm not saying he's a sociopath, Chris.
I mean,
I'm not saying he's not one either. Okay. And for that, real quick, let's take a quick 10-second intermission to listen to my favorite song. Okay, so Chris, we're going to take a break from Mission Impossible, and if you're down with this, we're going to play a game, and I intentionally did not tell you about this so that I could keep you fresh, okay? This is a game I like to play with anybody who will play. I'm going to play a clip from a song, and all you have to do is you hear the clip from the song, you just tell me what movie it's iconic for, okay? I'm going to start with a really easy one that you can't get wrong, just so you can get the hang of it. What movie is this from?
I mean, I'm a child of the 80s Breakfast Club. In fact, Simple Minds are coming to Montreal this summer. I'm going to try and go see them. Yeah.
They might do the thing where they don't play that song. Let me tell you, real quick break. Let me tell you a story. This is a smaller example.
Burn the stadium down.
Dude, this is, let me tell you, this is something that really happened to me. I don't know if you know the band
they
The
hate
Wallflowers.
it. They hate the song. Apparently they resent it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying they might not play. You know the Wallflowers? The
yeah,
band?
Sure. Yeah,
so they're obviously famous for the one song, One Headlight, They played at the Brit Festival one year in Oregon, and I went because I knew that one song and I like that one song. And, Jacob Dylan is related to Bob Dylan, so it kind of felt important. So I go and they played a 3-hour set, dude. And guess what song they did not fucking play? They'd never played one. They came out for 2 encores, did not play it.
So the opposite happened when I saw Men Without Hats. They played Safety Dance twice.
See, that's what you have to do, because that's the one,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what else are they gonna play?
It's like if you go see like Styx and they don't play Mr. Roboto or Come Sail
I
Away.
saw Styx and they did not play Mr. Roboto. But they never liked that song, and it's Gowan. He's a Canadian who's the lead singer now. But they did not. They played all the other hits, but they didn't play Mr. Roboto.
You know, the thing with bands not liking the song that everyone knows them for is really starting to piss me off, man.
Oh no. Well, anyway, hopefully Simple Minds plays. I'm gonna look at their set list though. If it's not on their set list, I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, right? Why would you? All right, now round 2, Chris. Tell me what movie this is from. This one gets a little tougher, but I know you're gonna know it.
Oh, I love this. Fletch. Harold Faltermeyer. One of the reasons I went into journalism. I don't do the kind of journalism that I thought I was going to do when I was younger. I wanted to be an investigative journalist because not only do I love the movie Fletch, but I love the books. Yeah, I love the books that they're based on, and I've read most of the books, and I have most of the books. Do I have one right here? Actually, I think I might. No, I don't. But I love those books like Fletch 1 and all those, and so I was really into that movie. I don't like Fletch Lives very much. You did the videos on those. I love the first Fletch though. Fletch Lives has its moments, but Fletch is great, and that soundtrack is terrific.
The soundtrack.
I was disappointed by Confess Fletch that they didn't have the Fletch theme. It would have been way better if they had that.
So I don't like Confess Fletch. It's not, but I didn't read the books, so I don't have like my version.
It's similar to the books. It's a lot like the books. It's more like the books than the movies, but I think that the movie as a film, it works a lot better. Because they knew what made a movie, and they have so there's action, there's good music, there's cool car chases. I mean, that's a great car chase.
Great, yeah. The first one, there's good car chases in both the Chevy Chase movies, but the first one especially, with the kid who's trying to steal the car, hilarious.
Races.
Yeah, Fletch is my favorite Chevy Chase movie. It's probably in my top 10 movies of all time. I've seen it 100 times. When I did those videos, I did those for. Well, I think you approved those when I did them. Yeah. I have never felt more like high off of research than watching Fletch and then diving deep into the production and then trying to figure out what the movie's about and like what if trying to make any themes out of it. Dude, it was so much fun. And the soundtrack is one of those things that long after I get disenchanted with, the Beatles, even I will have the soundtrack of Fletch as my, my comfort blanket. We're going to listen to it just one more time. Oh, how do you don't get better than Faltermeyer, he's kind of like the Kenny Loggins light. Oh my god, and I like that.
This is non-stop hits. Well, Jan Hammer as well for Miami Vice.
Yeah, what am I saying? I can't forget. Okay, so we got 2 more rounds, Chris. These are gonna get a little bit harder. Now you have to tell me what movie this song is iconic for. When I say it's getting harder, take it with a grain of salt.
If I didn't know this, okay.
You would lose your Tom Cruise card.
I went on Top Gun: The Ride at Canada's Wonderland, and they play this the whole time.
I went on Top Gun: The Ride in Paramount Great America when that was a thing in San Jose, California. And dude, I don't know if the roller coaster there is the same as the one you went on, but ours, you're like face down, like you're flying, almost like the Mission Impossible position.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. I love it. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Sorry guys, I feel bad. I've been kind of ignoring you. I've been geeking out with Chris. We dream of doing this so much. Javier Antonio Asenio says, "Hi guys, greetings from Argentina. Long life to the good movies." Hey, well, hello from America and Canada, or specifically Montreal. Now that we know Chris lives there, guys, let's go down to Montreal and buy him a beer.
A claw.
No White Claws on our clock, Chris. The only reason I'm allowing the White Claw on my show because I don't like White Claw, but it's because there's no way in hell you had one of these laying around.
No.
No one does. Okay, Chris, last round. Tell me what movie this is from and don't be wrong.
But it all was bullshit. It was a goddamn...
You know, that's the movie that introduced me to the 80s music, and I love 80s music. I listen to Sirius 80s on 8 all the time, and it was really The Wedding Singer. The soundtracks, volume
So
1
good.
and 2, were huge for me. I listened to those in high school to death. You know,
Yeah.
so those are, I still think it's one of his, you know, I love Adam Sandler's early stuff, right? And to me, that's like the trilogy. It's the Holy Trinity is Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and then The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, that's the big
But
three.
I like Daddy as well too. And then
A little later.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that was when he started taking a dive into the more wholesome Adam Sandler stuff, which I still love. But
love Wedding Singer.
Oh, me too. It is my favorite Adam Sandler movie for two reasons. Yeah. Number one, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, just a great couple on screen. But then number two, the idea that somebody, when they were writing that movie, had the pitch to go, why don't we make her name Julia Gulia? If she gets married? Like, who thought of that shit? You don't see name gags in movies like that much anymore, you know, where it's like, let's just give somebody a name that rhymes, you know?
Julia
Gulia. Her last name's going to be Gulia. That's funny. Why is that funny? I don't know. Okay. All right, man. So we've talked Mission Impossible. We've talked some Tom Cruise. We've talked about us, you know, and if this is going to go any further, I'm going to need you to quit drinking White Claw, you know?
Okay. All right.
If you and me are getting serious,
it's empty.
We got to get sponsored by Kavita so we can provide it to Chris. And if any of you guys work at Kavita, as you guys know, I try to say this as often as I can. If you work at Kavita and you're not sponsoring this show, you're the ones missing out, because I will promote for you day and night for beverages, not even for financial gain. I will do it just for the bubbles. So yeah. Anyway, so if you don't sponsor us, fuck you.
He'll work for gold chains. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want one of these every quarter. They're not. You know, that's all I want.
I told Burge, I'm like, you don't need to pay him. Just send him gold chains. It's fine.
I have tried to negotiate my salary in gold chains since I started. I've been like, look, guys, I know bills are important. I know, like, for tax purposes, I have to get paid or whatever. But if you could just flow me some gold chains, I can make the videos, you know?
Put a chain on him.
Yeah, I don't want to OD on chains, but I don't know. The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, I probably should get another one, you know, just to keep the meme going. What I'm trying to do, and I think you know this, I've been trying to do this for probably over a year since you first started the meme. I've been trying to make it somewhat of like a recurring meme on the show.
Well, I want you to look like Mr. T when we're done. You know?
I know.
Like full bling.
What I want to do is I do want to get eventually more gold chains, not for my everyday wear, you know, but the hard part is finding tasteful gold chains that don't look gaudy. Like, this one is too gaudy. If I wear this with the wrong outfit, like I am right now for the meme, I look like I'm like wearing a Run DMC Halloween costume. I got
a great one for American Hustle that I lost. That was like a big like boombox, like a huge gold medallion. Oof. And I would have worn it right now.
I hate that movie, but that sounds like a cool chain.
Yeah.
I thought American Hustle was one of my least favorite David O. Russell movies, to be honest. Actually, I don't really like that many of his movies to begin with, but I think I like Silver Linings Playbook. That might be the.
I feel like I watch his movies one time and then that's kind of it.
Much like J.J. Abrams, you know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of directors that are like that, frankly.
You know who I thought was like that until Red Rocket was Sean Baker. But I could watch like Anora. I could go back and just watch it, you know?
Yeah, he's very classical kind of a director. I'd like to see Sean Baker do a Mission Impossible movie.
Could you imagine? That'd be a hot movie.
Shoot it on an iPhone for like $10 million and like really different kind of movie.
It'd be like letting Soderbergh make a Mission Impossible movie, you know?
Yeah. Oh God, where they're just sitting in rooms chatting for the whole movie.
It's like we're gonna shoot it on a camcorder from 2003.
Yeah, perfect.
And nobody moves. The whole thing's done in one take because nobody fucking moves. I love Soderbergh though. I do.
Well, Black Bag was okay.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It kind of looked to me like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but more serious.
It's just the thing about it is like I feel like Blanchett could be a great actress, but I also feel like she can be very cheesy in her performances. And I found she was very cheesy in this movie. Like she overplays her roles sometimes. It's my unpopular opinion. I just find that she really has a tendency to ham things up, and she hammed it up in this movie.
It happens. I'm probably not gonna see it right away, only because I like the trailer didn't do anything for me. I like Soderbergh, but sometimes, but I also think Soderbergh's weird because for me, obviously the Ocean's trilogy is important to me.
Well, I like the first one, but that's the other ones I think were just kind of like on vacation. I
kind of came around to the second one in a big way. I used to hate that one. I used to hate that movie. I kind of came around to it. I recently rewatched the trilogy before I went to Vegas. I had to, and man, like it's goofy and it's meta and it's weird, but I kind of like it now. Like now when I watch it, I'm like, this movie it's kind of cute,
Daring that they got away with just like let's go on vacation and then shoot our home movies, and put them out. I'll get paid millions of dollars to go on vacation in Europe.
Yeah, let's go hang out in Italy or wherever they went.
Clooney's hungover. He doesn't want to shoot today. Let's just get Bruce Willis in for a day.
Yeah, and we'll rewrite the scene so Julia Roberts plays herself.
Yeah.
No, Charlie, Zulu, Oscar, the original Ocean's movie with Sinatra sucks ass. I hate to say it.
Yeah, it's the... I'd say it's, that's one of the few movies that I'd say when they remade it, they actually really improved on it. I mean, I love Sinatra as well, and I like a lot of Sinatra's older movies, but his stuff with the Rat Pack, he's just kind of phoning it in. I mean, there's some great Sinatra movies, like Man with the Golden Arm is great.
That one's good. And Pal Joey. If you haven't seen Pal Joey, that's
I've seen Pal Joey, and I really love War Movie did Von Ryan's Express, which is great, but it's just like the Ocean's 11, like I don't know.
I didn't like it. I saw that one after the Clooney and Brad Pitt one, so obviously it was never gonna be like a
very different,
But I think there are examples of remakes out there that people don't think make the original better, or like that people don't think improve on the original. Like I always get into the shit with this when I say this. Watch the comments turn on me. But every single time I say this, I get a reaction from people. But I think that the Andy Muschietti It Chapter 1 movie is a better movie than the Tim Curry miniseries.
Oh, the Tim Curry miniseries is not as good as people remember. It's because
I watch it a lot still, but
yeah, it's good and he's fantastic in it. But you're looking at it through the looking at it through the the gaze of nostalgia. I think and I get it. Like for a TV movie from 1990, it's excellent. But it's just that I don't know. As a film, I think Tim Curry is amazing and he's iconic in the movie.
Yeah,
but you watch a lot of it and it's like Harry Anderson doing his night court shtick, or like a lot of these like sitcom actors kind of doing their shtick that they're known for.
Yes,
and it's like
but the adult stuff in the 90s TV series, the adult stuff is a drag.
But honestly. It Chapter 2 is the same thing though. They couldn't nail the
Chapter 2.
Both of them were able to nail the childhood stuff, and they weren't able to kind of really pull off the adult stuff in either movie, which is weird.
I agree. I went to It Chapter 2 opening night because I loved Chapter 1 so much.
I was,
and I left very sad at how fucking. I mean, first of all, the movie's so long, but I knew from the opening scene of the movie, I was like, "This is not my kind of movie."
Nothing ever. So, in terms of audience disappointment, Spider-Man 3, the premiere of Spider-Man 3. I went to the first showing of it midnight the night before it opens. There was a guy there dressed up as Spider-Man. When it was over, he was crying, taking off his Spider-Man outfit. Garbage.
Fuck this movie. That sucks, man. Now I don't like Spider-Man 3.
His pain was gorgeous.
I don't like Spider-Man 3 much, but I still think that there has yet to be a Spider-Man movie that I truly all the way love. I like Spider-Man 2
I love
the
animated Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse and beyond.
Oh, well, yeah, those for sure. I mean in live action, because the Into the Spider, those are definitely my kind of movie. I also love, just so everybody knows too, I'm not a Tim Curry hater. I have to say that because the It talk sometimes turns people against me. But I love Tim Curry. You can see here, this is a Rocky Horror Picture Show poster. That's one of my favorite movies. And then over here, I've got a Clue poster. That's also
I've seen Rocky Horror theatrically a bunch of times because I
Same.
go because they show it every year in Montreal and they do the audience participation.
yeah, they do it here too.
I go all the time. I actually won one of the competitions, the costume competition, twice. I was in the top 3. Once I was Zoidberg,
Oh, nice.
Futurama, and then another. I had a surgical glove on my face, like his things,
Yeah.
and then I dressed as Tobias Funke, and I was wearing cut off jean shorts, shirtless, painted blue, and
that had to be the one you won for, right?
No, I was second place.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I sometimes like I do the Rocky Horror at the movies. They do it like at least here. I've done this in different, like in Denver, it's kind of a bigger deal, but here they just like project it onto the side of a giant wall downtown, and everybody watches, and people dress up and stuff. I did one year do the fishnets and the corset and everything, when I went in Denver, and that was probably the most fun I've had at one of those premieres. Was like doing all the makeup and the stuff. But man, it's just a good movie in general. I've seen it so many times.
It falls apart though after like the first night. Like the second half of the movie is not as good as the first half of the movie.
I kind of agree and disagree, because I do agree that the first half of the movie is amazing, and a lot of the best songs are in the first half of the movie. That's part of it too, because you get kind of like you get a lot. But also, I think when I watch the movie, if I only were to watch the first half of the movie, I probably would be I would feel like I'm missing so much great stuff that comes in the second half.
I hear you.
But
you know, one of your commenters said something interesting though. They said that Tony Scott should have directed a Mission Impossible movie, and 100%, man, that would have been amazing. He would have been such a great director for a Mission Impossible movie. God, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it kind of seems obvious now. That's from Brian Stevens. Thank you for being here, Brian.
Hello there.
Yeah, it's kind of that is weird, because it almost seems like something where there's like a Mandela effect. If you were to tell 100 people Tony Scott directed a Mission Impossible movie, I bet some of those people would be like, yeah that makes sense. You know,
it does make, yeah,
it makes perfect sense. Mr. Bucket Man, another returning viewer, you get a hello there.
Hello there.
He says that Michael Fassbender was fantastic in Black Bag. Chris, can you confirm this, or is Mr. Bucket Man a liar?
He steals the movie. He totally steals the movie. Fassbender is terrific in it.
When is he not terrific? Speak on that.
I mean, you know, he had a bad run of movies, dude. He did The Snowman, Assassin's Creed. Oh God, he did another one that was really bad too.
I haven't seen either of those, but is he
a couple bad? Really bad, a couple bad X-Men movies too. Dark Phoenix, like it was just the guy was laying bomb after bomb after bomb for a bit.
I agree. Some of those prequel X-Men movies, like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix were bad. But was he the problem? I don't know. Like, was he bad?
No, he was not. He was not the problem. He was great. And I mean, if you watch him in First Class, he's incredible.
Oh, that's my second favorite X-Men movie. It's X-Men 2000 and then X-Men First Class, then X2,
for me.
and then I don't give a fuck after that. No, Days of Future Past after that, and Logan. Then I don't give a fuck. Speaking of X-Men, dude, did you hear? This is breaking right now. And guys, we're going to get to the giveaway and some other stuff, so don't worry. We're just a couple of boys having fun. Did you hear that Chris Claremont was at like a panel for some convention recently and just started, he's a consultant on Avengers Doomsday, and just started like dropping like info on people? I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to cover it too much here about what he said, because if it's not true, I don't want us to be a source for any of that. But also, I don't like it. It's obviously he made some kind. I love Chris Claremont. He's one of the best writers of all time for comics. He's old though. He might have fucked up, and I don't want to be just like putting this stuff out there. But
well, I know some of the stuff that he said though seems crazy. Like it's just like you look at it, and it's like, oh my god.
But it's like some of the stuff where it's like, if it's that crazy, he must know something. Where's that coming from? You know, because nothing he said was anything I had heard.
God, he's probably getting so much crap for it though. Like if it's true, oh my god.
They're like, you'll never work in this town again, Chris Claremont.
You know, well, I mean, he's dropping some huge spoilers. Like look at it with your own peril if you want to stay fresh. But it's like, I don't even know if we can cover it. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to talk about it on the show.
Yeah. Like, because it's some of it is so like, oh my god, you know, like. You know.
Okay, listen, we're gonna do a giveaway for you guys since we're nearing what would normally be the end of the show. But then, Chris, I have a few things after that. If you're okay to hang for a little.
Oh
bit.
yeah, of course.
Okay, we'll give you guys a little extra of a show since it's our first Thursday stream. And by the way, thank you to all of you that are still here watching, and especially to the many names I see coming back from our usual Fridays. You guys are the real ones. So let's do a giveaway. We're gonna be giving away something very special today. We are giving away a JoBlo Popcorn Bucket, buddy. Chris, you've seen these.
That's awesome. Yeah, Mike Conway did those. Those are really cool.
Yeah, now I've got one of these coming in the mail. I finally was able to badger our producers. So shout out to John Fallon. Was able to badger him enough to get one of these puppies sent to me. So I'm gonna have one for set dressing. I might put some like popcorn in it and then like put hairspray over it just to preserve it and just have it be like a permanent.
Conway's really good with his 3D printer too, though. The guy's a wizard with that kind of stuff. He prints out some really cool stuff.
He's really good. This was actually, so when we asked him to do this was kind of a joke. It came from this show, from the JoBlo Movie Show, formerly known as Friday Night Flicks. But on one of those episodes, somebody asked, because you know the popcorn bucket hype is like really big these days, and somebody asked, when are we gonna get a JoBlo?
Well, we post about them on the website.
Yeah.
Traffic goes up. Yeah.
People love them. I love them. So somebody asked, oh, when are you guys gonna make a JoBlo popcorn bucket? As a joke, I was like, that would be awesome. We'll work on that right away. And then Mike Conway, savior of the hour, that hour, hits me up. Like, he texted me like right after the show and was like, I can do this. I can make the buckets. And he sculpted, like he was like, let me just teach myself how to sculpt. And then he just sculpted it, 3D printed them, and then now we've got this incredible JoBlo bucket. So sick. And guys, we're gonna be giving one away. So if you want to win this, here's the one stipulation. We do this every giveaway. This is a North American giveaway. So if you're in Canada, the US, or Mexico, you can win this bucket. All you have to do if you want to win is answer this question. We've got a little trivia for you guys. Which iconic cinema serial killer was loosely based on Tom Cruise in a 90s interview with David Letterman? So which movie character serial killer the performance was based on Tom Cruise after a 90s interview with David Letterman? This is a good one. Oh, whoa. We had someone came in real quick with that one. Brian Stevens, of course. Brian Stevens, who's been so active in the chat tonight. Good for you. That was quick. Last giveaway last week took like half the night. Yep. Dungeon Crawler Jesse, you were next in line, my friend. You were next in line. But Brian Stevens got it. So
I wonder who's going to play Patrick. I wonder who's going to play Patrick Bateman in the new American Psycho movie that Luca Guadagnino is doing.
They say Austin Butler, and then Luca Guadagnino himself was like, or no, somebody. No. It was Bret Easton Ellis came out and was like, "That's fake news. That's not happening." So I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no problem with Austin Butler. I think he's cute. I like his chops, but I think we could do better for a Patrick Bateman. You need somebody like you need somebody like Patrick Schwarzenegger.
He'd be good.
From White Lotus. Really, that's who you need.
If you watch White Lotus, he would actually be terrific.
He kind of is. He's kind of Patrick Bateman, only a little doofier in that movie. You know, like it's like if Patrick Bateman wasn't quite a psycho, but more just some poor schlub who got molested by his brother. That kind of thing. So Brian Stevens. Spoilers for White Lotus. Yeah. So Brian, all you need to do, man, claim your prize. Email arrow@joblo.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. Once we verify that you are who you say you are, we will ship you out your brand new popcorn bucket. I also have to give a disclaimer. Do not eat popcorn out of this popcorn bucket. It's 3D printed. It's got paint. Just don't fucking do it, okay? Save yourself. Okay. And then there was Ryan Gosling would be an okay pick. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
A little old now, though. A little old now. He needs to be younger. Younger.
He's a little old, and the thing I would worry about with Ryan Gosling is even when he is playing darker roles, like, you know, like Place Beyond the Pines or something, or Fractured, where he's supposed to be more serious, he's charming. It shines through. The charm comes through every performance.
I agree.
What is this? Oh, hey, we got a comment from that YouTuber with Kiki as a profile picture 06.
Hello there.
That's my favorite name to say. Hey, Kieran, Chris, Vinegar Syndrome just released the Norm Macdonald from Dirty Work on 4K for the first time, an uncut version included. Isn't that awesome? What are your guys' thoughts on? I love Dirty Work.
Yeah, that is cool. I haven't seen Dirty Work since it came out originally, and I remember being really disappointed because it was like 80 minutes long, and you could tell that they had like cut the movie to ribbons. It has the craziest. It has the craziest cover art, though. If you see the new Vinegar Syndrome, it's this most disgusting cover art. You got to pull it up if you can.
Yeah, dude.
Gross. But great. I mean, I'm glad that that's coming out. I love Norm Macdonald. Bob Saget as well, Artie Lang. It's a movie I'd actually really like to revisit.
Dude,
in terms of 4Ks though, like I got a couple really interesting ones recently, like Cruising, that, which is a mental movie. Deep Blue Sea, revisited that recently.
Yeah.
Nuts. And oh god, what I'm really looking forward to though is eventually, Arrow is supposed to be putting out Lost in Space, because I have a friend of mine who did a commentary track.
Yes.
Love to revisit that movie because I've been putting off revisiting it. I'd be curious. I don't think it's necessarily going to be good, but I'd be very curious to revisit it.
That just seems like a good one to read. Is this the image, by the way, Chris?
The chest?
Well, what I'm seeing here is it looks like a pube trimmer. And it's kind of written out in pubic hair. It says, "It's sick, it's dirty, it's their job."
No. There's another one where it's a chest hair, like a chest hair thing. You can find it on Twitter. Let me see.
Okay, yeah, no, I see. Oh, okay, I see it with the nipples and everything. Can I show this?
Yeah. I don't even know, man.
I'm not gonna, but that is disgusting. I love it.
It's gross.
One of my favorite scenes in Dirty Work.
God bless.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it has to be. One of my favorite scenes in Dirty Work, there's a lot, but the scene where they're going to plant a bunch of dead fish in that billionaire's house, in that drug dealer's house, and then in the other room, they hear an escalating argument going, and what starts as like a simple argument turns into like you hear chainsaws, gunfire, you hear people like, "Oh my God," and the whole scene is just the two guys standing there not moving like this. You don't hear anything, you hear it. It's kind of like Zone of Interest, that scene, where it's
you're comparing Dirty Work to Zone of Interest.
That's that's correct. Okay. I mean, come on. I mean, wait, what are we talking about here? Both of them rely heavily on the sound design for you to enjoy the piece. So I apologize for doing that so often. I just can't help it. Okay.
That's the U2 version, eh? Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, I prefer the Limp Bizkit version, but I was on a time crunch and this was the version.
No one knows why you want to hate me.
Yeah.
No one knows why you hate me.
And then Fred Durst comes in and just starts talking. Classic.
Who's even seen lightly?
Funny story about Limp Bizkit. Obviously, as a child of the 90s, I loved Limp Bizkit. And my introduction to Wu-Tang Clan was the Limp Bizkit and Method Man song, End Together Now, off of Significant Other. And now Wu-Tang is one of my all-times, and that is thanks to the white boy Fred Durst himself.
And John Fallon says you should show the Dirty Work cover.
Oh, well, if it's coming from our producer, he says I can show it. Let me show you guys what's good.
The nips.
All right. Johnny, remember this was your idea, brother, so you can't fire us for this, dude. This feels wrong to show. All right, it's up on screen. You guys can see it. It's a nice pair of tits on a big man. This is kind of what I look like if I took my shirt off.
Oh my God, with the gross, like the white at the end of it.
Dude, if you just put a gold chain at the top coming down, this is what I look like when my shirt's off.
Dude,
just kidding. I don't have that much chest hair, you guys. I'm clean, okay? But damn, yeah, that is a disgusting.
Can't wait to put that on my
yeah.
shelf.
Oh yeah, right. That's gonna look so good on display.
Yeah.
Disgusting. All right, Chris. Last thing we're gonna do. let's watch some movie trailers. There's new movies coming out, you know. And some of these I'm sure you've seen. Some of them I just want to roast a little bit. And the first one is the trailer for Now You See Me, Now You Don't, or
Oh my God,
or Now You See Me 3.
Yeah, Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Did you say you have or haven't seen this?
I saw it, and I saw
it. Dude, I don't know about you, but I don't like these movies that much as it is. I think they're kind of tacky.
Yeah.
But dude, this movie looks like absolute shit to me. I was kind of excited, as I'm a former magician. Many of you guys know, and for those of you that don't, now you know. And so these movies have always kind of like pissed me off with the way that they treat magic as if it's some sort of like, you know, real fucking thing, you know, which it is not. So it bothers me. But then I was kind of excited because I was like, after this much time, if they're bringing it back, they must have a reason. There must be something.
No, not really.
Dude, money. This looks like too good of a cast for such a shit nothing movie.
And then they have that one part where he goes, and diamonds are forever.
And diamonds are forever.
Yeah, like
super.
I still find Rosamund Pike though like one of the hottest women ever. But yeah,
have you seen Fracture? She is so beautiful in that movie.
I interviewed her once, and I was just staring at her like.
I believe I edited that interview, or maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody, I think maybe Jimmy O also interviewed her once. But yeah, she's beautiful for a white girl for sure.
You know, Eisenberg is actually a really nice guy though. I interviewed him. I had a long interview with him. I hung up one afternoon. He's actually a super guy.
I wanted to ask you about this. So, okay, I like Jesse Eisenberg because I like his work. Like, I enjoy, even before he was directing, I enjoy like his movies and his performances. Yeah. He's in that movie directed by Richard Ayoade, The Double, and I think I'm the only person who loves it. Yeah,
The Double's good. Yeah,
I love it. Everybody else I've talked to who's seen it is like it's boring as shit, and I'm like, I love it. But but I've always been curious because I take him as such an asshole in real life. Jesse,
no, not at all.
Lately I've been thinking, I think maybe he's just shy, and he kind of like he reminds me of people in my life that are also a little bit awkward that seem like they might be assholes.
No, he's a super guy. He really is. I mean, you have to meet him on the right level, but I think like as if you and him would get along great. Like he is a really affable, nice, friendly guy. Like he doesn't, you know, he's not into like the glitz of like Hollywood and stuff like that. Like he's not, you know, he's you know, he's smart. He's a smart guy. You know, he's like an intellectual, but you'd like him, man. To me, he was a super nice guy, and I thought he was going to be a prick as well, but he was not. It was the furthest thing from it.
I'm really happy to hear that because I really do love his work. Matt's movie review says he'd rather watch Lord of Illusions again. Same.
Oh, I haven't seen that. You know, that was one I was planning on revisiting actually, because I haven't seen that movie since it came out. So I loved it when it was out. I always wish they'd made a sequel to that with more Scott Bakula as Harry Lockhart, I think was his name.
Yeah, Lockhart. Do you typically like Clive Barker?
I'm you know, I'm not a huge Clive Barker fan. I've liked some of the movies like Hellraiser, but I'm not like, I don't really know much about Clive Barker, to be honest.
Because he made this movie, right? He made Lord of Illusions, right?
Yeah.
When I saw it, I liked it more than Hellraiser a little bit, and it's not as good. Yeah. It's just there was something more like palatable to me. You know, a little younger maybe the first time I saw it, but it's worth rewatching, dude. If you're in the mood for something.
I saw Famke Janssen too. Famke Janssen. My introduction to Famke.
My introduction to Famke Janssen, however you say it, was The Faculty.
Oh, really? Not even Goldeneye?
Nope. I saw The Faculty before I saw Goldeneye, definitely. And because you have to also keep in mind, when The Faculty came out, I was probably only 4, so I didn't see it till it was a home release. Yeah,
I was 17, so there you go.
Well, actually, how old are you, Chris?
I'm 43.
Okay, yeah, so you're a little older than I am. My birthday's on. By the way, guys, my birthday. The next time you guys see me after this stream, I'll be another year older. My birthday is on Monday, May 5th.
Oh wow, how old are you?
I'll be 32, so
32.
I'm still a baby. Yeah, still a baby. I'll be 32. I feel it's weird. I simultaneously feel old, like older than 32 and younger than 30. Like I can't believe I'm already in my 30s.
That's how I felt when I was in my 30s, and it's how I feel.
At the same time, I feel like I'm 60. I don't drink. Yeah. I don't, I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of like adventurous spirit left in me,
You'll rebound.
Yeah. Then I buy a red convertible and fucking, dye my hair.
The Cybertruck.
I have a gray hair somewhere. It grows longer than all my other hairs, and it just shoots out of my beard. I have to pull it.
With JoBlo, you've gotta do this.
Yeah, well, I want to fit in, dude. I have a lot of hair still, though. I don't have any signs of going bald.
One day.
Yeah, hopefully I earn it. That's all I'm saying. I hope that when I start going bald, I'm at a point where I feel like I earned it. Like when I started getting fat, at first I was sad, but then I was like, you know what, dude, I'm at that phase of my life. I'm going through my fat phase, and then I'll lose the weight and make a triumphant comeback as a hot guy.
6-pack.
Yeah, exactly. 6-pack and a gold chain, dude.
Yeah, 6-pack. Just, hey, what time is it? Just like do the show shirtless.
Yeah, I'll just be like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. Huh?
Yeah. Doing your laundry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start broadcasting the live streams from my like home gym. From
your gym, like this, like 1,000,
yeah,
and 100, 102. Oh,
I start the stream. Yeah, I start the stream 999 and 1. Oh, hey guys.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
I don't know if you heard me counting. I did over 1,000. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's all a phase, and when I go through my bald phase, I just hope that I can embrace it the way that I've embraced everything else.
So suffice to say, Now You See Me 3, you think it looks like crap?
I think it looks like shit, and I also have a prediction. Okay, my prediction is there is going to be some franchise seed planning, like as if this movie is marking the return of a new generation of movies. I think this new cast with Justice Smith and that crew, I think they're trying to like soft launch a new group.
They even said so at CinemaCon, and they are already putting into the works Now You See Me 4. Thing is, this movie's going to come out and it's going to flop. Nobody's going to go see it.
It's unfortunate. I love the cast. Love the cast.
I just don't think anybody cares about these movies,
dude. Nobody cared even then, man. Like the first one got lucky, but
now it's not like people are aching for a return of Now You See Me. Like, wow, the franchise we're fine with.
It's like here's the most basic heist movie franchise making a comeback, and you're like, woo, yay!
I don't get it.
Yeah, dude. No, it's I don't know. No one asked for it. As a magician, I'm gonna say right now, you guys aren't gonna get any magic that's gonna blow your mind. You'll just get what you always get from these movies, which is all the flavor, none of the facts, none of the real shit that makes it cool.
Isla Fisher is very hot though, so there you go. And Rosamund Pike.
And
Kaplan shows up in this movie too. It's 3 like
Lizzie Kaplan is beautiful.
Yeah, they all are.
Isla Fisher, okay, whatever. Rosamund Pike, yeah, but I don't know. The list of Hollywood stars that I find beautiful is both huge, but also it's like I talk to Elisa about this sometimes. I don't think Scarlett Johansson is that hot. I think she's a great actor and I think she's hilarious, but like I don't look at her and be like, that's a hot chick. It's just like a regular looking,
regular look.
It's like basic hot white girl is what I mean. I'm not saying she's not hot. I'm just saying like basic hot white girl,
I agree to disagree, but anyway.
But what about? So I was talking. This is gonna get me in so much hot water with the fans. I can feel it now. But so I had this conversation with my wife Elisa that I think Jenny Slate is hot, but I don't think that like Scarlett Johansson is hot in that way. Like I think Jenny Slate is beautiful. I'm like, she's a beautiful actor. Right. And then I look at Scarlett Johansson, who's obviously beautiful, classically beautiful. I'm like, she's
they're different kinds of beauty. I think Jenny Slate is very attractive. I think she's very attractive. I mean, it's different kinds of looks,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in its own way, hey, listen, as they always say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that's what's important.
Well, that's why everybody thinks I'm so handsome, because they're seeing me, they're all beholding me, and they all have the same opinion. Boy. I'm their sweetie. I'm the people's sweetie.
Nice looking boy. A nice looking boy.
I have straight teeth and I smell good, and that's all it takes to be likable. I don't even have straight teeth. Mr. Bucketman says, even if Scarlett had armpit hair, I'd date her. Well, armpit hair should not be a disqualification.
Yeah, back in the 70s, you would have never dated if you were against armpit.
I have definitely seen my share of beautiful people with armpit hair, you know?
And you watch any 70s movie where a girl's in a bikini, there's armpit hair. You just got to get used to it.
I think there's pictures out there of Farrah Fawcett, everyone's go-to hottie hot, you know? I think there's photos of her with a little armpit hair, you know? The freedom.
Oh, it was back. Yeah,
yeah,
it's cool. It's a different era.
It's cool. Hip Hop Legend says ripped like Ethan Suplee. Now who? It's me, obviously. I'm ripped like Ethan Suplee in Mallrats.
Well, Ethan Suplee is very aspirational, though. If you look at that guy, it's great. Good for him.
He looks just like my oldest brother, and he also had a similar weight loss journey. And I love Ethan Suplee. I loved him in Boy Meets World. Everything he's done since Boy Meets World. When he was Frankie the Enforcer, for those of you that don't know.
The Enforcer.
Yeah, man.
Our producer John Palin was on the Canadian version of Boy Meets World. Did you know that?
Wait. You
don't know this story? He posted the clip of it earlier today on Facebook. So there was a Canadian version of Boy Meets World called Big Wolf on Campus. All right, it had to do with like werewolves or something like that, and it was shot at my old CJAP, and it was on YTV. And there's an episode where John is the villain of the week, and he's a bully that's like gonna beat up the main kid, and he's like, if you watch, he posted a clip of it on Facebook.
I don't have Facebook, but I'll find. You know.
Hold on, yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome, and he's actually quite good in it. Like, I have to say, like,
John's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. He is. He's great in it. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. And
John is also. While you're looking, I want to take the opportunity.
Villain of the week.
John is also a good director. This is a small plug. Hopefully, I'm not like embarrassing myself by saying this in front of John. But if he's still watching, then here you go, John. I watched his movie a couple times, Malicious. And dude, it's a good movie, man.
It is.
The first time I saw it, it got me. I was like, whoa.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, dude, if it'll let you, man.
Oh, Google Chrome. No, it's not letting me. Let's see if I can send you the link. Oh man, it's too bad. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, it's yeah. Can you hear it?
I can't hear it or see.
No, too bad. Oh, too bad. Anyway,
you're gonna have to publish it on the website. No.
Yeah, the Canadian version of Boy Meets World, though, and he's the villain of the week. That's so good.
I'll give John a call a little bit later and have him send me the clip. I got it. I mean, Boy Meets World. That show shaped who I am. You know. Here's a question. You know, I get this question a shocking amount. That YouTuber with Kiki as a profile picture 06 says, "Is Kier Latino?"
Hey.
I don't know. Pero I say sí. Porque mi esposa es mexicana y I love her. So I married in. I'm half Mexican now.
Oh man.
There you guys did some terrible Spanish for you.
God.
Chris, can you say something to us in French?
Oui, je peux parler en français si vous voulez.
Are you fluent in French?
Oui, je suis courant en français parce que mon père est francophone et ma mère est anglophone. Oui, je suis courant en français parce que je vis à Montréal et Montréal est une ville française. So
That's
yeah, I speak
up.
French.
That is absolutely that you would say something like that on my show is both disturbing and probably cancelable. I can't believe you said that. You said if you see Tom Cruise, if you meet him again, you're gonna take him for another $400,000. Dude, that's horrible. What a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, what can you say, man? It's the subtitles.
That's how you got Nicole Kidman, dude. That's how you stole Nicole Kidman off him, huh? Well, Christopher, dude, this has been great. I have to have you back. I'm sure the audience loves you. And I also think this is I think a good proof of concept for many conversations we could have, many stories about JoBlo that could be swapped. So if you guys found any of that that stuff aside from the Mission Impossible speak and the trashing of Now You See Me and the absolute hilarity of my memes,
I love gold.
if you guys found any of the other stuff we talked about interesting, let us know. I would love to get more guests on the show. I would love to have more JoBlo fam on here so we could, you know, tell our campfire stories of work and battle stories and all this. People that we've met. I mean, not everybody's met Tom Cruise, but you know, there's other people that we can.
I never got invited back to interview him though, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I rubbed him the wrong way, so who knows?
I mean, dude, call me crazy, but he obviously likes you if he gave you $400,000 to pay the IRS. I mean, like, obviously he wants to see you again. He put his hand on your butt.
Then why doesn't he return my phone calls?
He's too busy talking to me, dude. We've been talking about doing a piece together, a movie about gold chains. It's called Uncut Chains.
Uncut Chains.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well,
movie.
Yeah, it would. Look out for that when the Safdies are making it, dude. I love you. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let the audience go. Thank you guys for staying so long. I know that we went a little bit over schedule tonight, but it was fun. And congratulations to Brian Stevens for winning the JoBlo Popcorn Bucket. Please email arrow@joblo.com. I think that's all the disclosures I have. Chris, anything you want to say before we cut you off?
No. I'm hard at work on writing a script for the third Naked Gun movie for Revisited, and I'm almost done. So hopefully that'll be out soon, and harder to dig into than I assumed. Usually I can crank them out quickly, but it's coming soon because I love doing the first two, and I don't know why I've been thinking about Naked Gun recently and Leslie Nielsen a lot lately. So I'm looking forward to that coming out on the originals at some point.
Awesome. And if that one does good, we'll try to convince Chris to cover Mafia next. So if you guys want to see that.
Yeah, Jane Austen. Well, Hot Shots. We haven't done Hot Shots. Hot Shots 1 and Part 2.
It could make a great series of videos that could later make a great compilation.
Yeah. I love Part 2 especially.
I bet you do. All right, guys. Well, that's been us. That's been the JoBlo Movie Show. Thank you guys for helping us commemorate our first Thursday live. Thank you, Chris, for being here, man. We love you around here.
Thank you very much.
I gotta have you back.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
Right on, dude. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna text you a little bit later, but for now, good night, everybody, and I'm gonna outro us out of here. Peace. Oh yeah. Let me hit one of those first.
Later.
Yes.